Ready as I'll ever be.
All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Single Guy channel. I'm Lloyd, and I'm here with my very special guest, Andrea. So me and Andrea have been friends for many, many years, and I wanted to bring her here to talk about everything that men don't get about women.
It's a lot.
And there's a lot of stuff. So the reason why you guys should watch this video is because basically, if you're trying to date women, if you're trying to become more attractive to them, obviously it makes sense to know a little bit more about them. First of all, I think when it comes to this sort of subject, I think that women think about putting yourself in another person's shoes is a sign of that makes you more socially conscious, and that makes you like a smarter person socially. And I think women do this a lot more than men do. Would you say that's true?
Yeah, I'd say that's true. I mean, I think it's in our nature to think about, well, how would this person feel, right? It's all about empathy.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know. Judging with guys,
I think women think about it too much. Like, you're putting yourself in the other person's shoes, like if you're like texting them or something like that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we're the queens of overthinking, right? That's all we do. Sometimes it's better not to think. I hear it from Lloyd all the time, like, Dre, you're thinking about it too much. Just do it. And I'm like, yeah, well, if I was a guy, maybe I would. But
there are guys out there that think about it too much too. So obviously there's a limit to how much you can think about. But I think in general, for the majority of guys that I've talked to, most of my students, they need to like think about things a little bit more from the person's perspective and like figure out why a girl would actually go out with them or like go home with them, and then work on themselves and improve those types of things.
Yeah, and keep in mind too, like every girl's different, so if it works for one, it might not work for another, and vice versa. Yep.
It's a cute dog.
I'm distracted.
All right, so the first thing that we're going to cover that I wrote down, and Dre, you can keep me honest about this, is I think one of the biggest differences between men and women, obviously biologically, is size. So men are bigger than women, especially when it comes to upper body strength, and so that makes a big difference, I think, socially, especially in crowded environments where you're talking to a bunch of people that you don't know.
Right.
And so there's that whole, you mentioned this earlier, like there's a little bit of a stranger danger type thing, and I think that's definitely more pronounced for women than it is for men.
It's a fight or flight too, I think, as well.
Yeah.
I mean, like, especially if you're just meeting someone for the first time and they're like overbearing or too close and in your face, or thinking more about, well, how the hell am I going to get out of this situation, than actually listen to the conversation and thinking about it a little bit. What
I talked about earlier, kind of the way I'm standing right now, is kind of, if I didn't know you and I wanted to come up and talk to you, this is even a little bit too close maybe. We're in the middle of a park right now, so like getting rape vibes for sure if you come up like really quick. So what I like to do is I like to come in from the side, as opposed to like if I walk straight on into you, you'd be like, whoa, dude.
Yeah.
Like, get away from me. And so I think once you start talking to them from here, and if they warm up to you and they kind of trust you a little bit more, then you can get maybe a little bit close. But a lot of drunk guys don't know the...
No, I think usually what happens with a drunk guy, it's more like this. Oh, hey, hi. Do you want to sleep with me right now? Can we stop? Can we not do that? Yeah, let's take some time. It's like, keep in mind, like, you guys are strangers and we need to know each other. And like, even though you already have a vision in mind of whatever it might be, we do too. It's like, I don't want another fuck face in my face, you know?
Exactly.
I have to censor that, but...
No, we swear on this channel.
Oh, okay.
It's not monetized.
No, I'm just kidding.
You can say fuck all you want. But don't overdo it.
Okay, I'll stop there.
We're gonna have a swear jar counter for this. So let's talk about like kind of how a lot of what women do and a lot of what men do, and we don't even realize it. A lot of guys think, oh, well, guys are just trying to get laid, or, you know, we're trying to get the girl. But a lot of what guys do is based on like what other men do, and I think that's a big motivation for guys to even go out and get girls in the first place. Is like they see their friends are getting a lot of girls, and so they want to do it too. That's definitely very pronounced for men, but how is it for women? I mean, how do you guys judge each other when it comes to that sort of stuff?
I think it depends what kind of friend you have, or like who you're talking to. It's definitely not a thing that you want to say, hey, I just slept with like 500 guys this weekend or every other day. We definitely cheer each other on to get like the guy that you like, but it's not always about like the number game, right? It's like you actually want to develop a friendship and something more. So it's a little bit different for a guy.
What do you think about this? So like I was thinking about this the other day, and I think, you know, if a girl is what a quote unquote promiscuous or a slut or whatever, what we would consider in our society to be like that, I guess it's because I've been with a lot of girls, but I don't really judge a girl based off of that. But do you think women judge other women more for that stuff than men do? What do you think about that?
Oh yeah, I would say so, for sure. Yeah, I mean, because I don't know, girls sometimes too are a little bit catty, right? Like, oh well, she's a slut.
She's just a slut.
Yeah, she's just a slut. Fuck her. Yeah, there it goes.
And it's the easy insult too, because you can just say it, and you don't really need
Yeah.
much proof.
Right.
You can just like declare it on somebody, like, well, she went out, she kissed a dude one time,
You can
so
rationalize
she's a
it, yeah.
slut.
Why would I like her for anything else? But yeah, it's just not a good thing. Guys definitely, I think, are heroes. They're cheered on for that kind of stuff. For girls, a little bit different. I mean, we have a lot more responsibility that comes with it too, right? You're not looking a little pregnant, Lloyd. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
so that could happen. Yeah, I think it's like, we like to say it's like a cheaper meal for guys than it is for girls. Like, we are emotionally invested sometimes, even if you just met someone.
So it's not
still,
just a social pressure, there's a biological aspect to it.
I think there is, yeah. I think it's in our habit.
So that's what I was going to talk about next. I was going to talk about, like, kind of, you know, if a guy has sex with a lot of women, then it's considered, you know, awesome. But if a girl does the same thing, it's not necessarily seen as good. And there are, like, social repercussions for that. So, like, if you don't want to, you probably aren't into PDA as much as like most people are, because that could have social ramifications too. Right. I mean, if they see a guy making out with a girl, like, some people might laugh at him, or they think things like, oh, that's gross, or like, good for him. But usually when it's happening to a girl, like, the people aren't thinking as many positive thoughts, I think.
Right. I think they're thinking, why out in the public? Like, why are you doing it? What does her mom think of her? Her dad think of her? Get this slut out of here.
Yeah.
But for the guy, I'm sure it's like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep it going. Get another one.
So what that means is that you have to be conscious of, like, I always tell my my students, it's like, all right, she's not going to just come home with you. You have to do the social dues. Like, you can't be seen being so overt in public. It's tacky, and it's like, if you insist on doing that sort of stuff, you're gonna lose her, because she's gonna go for a guy that's, like, not gonna put that pressure on her.
Right. Keep the class, you know.
Yeah, keep it classy.
Image too, as well. I think it's a big one.
Yeah, definitely. I think like a lot of this is image, and especially if you're out at a bar or a club, like, that's a social scene. People are looking at each other and judging you all the time.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about. So we all have insecurities. But I think women have it pretty tough in our society. Men have it pretty tough in certain ways, but I think in terms of body image and looks, I mean, I can't think of a magazine that I've looked at or seen an Instagram page that had over 1 million followers that didn't have, like, a scantily clad woman. Maybe National Geographic, and even then I've seen some bikini photos in National Geographic too. What's it like? I guess, navigating that life where it's like you're constantly being compared to, like, you're not just being compared to other women, you're being compared to, like, the hottest girls, or like Photoshop girls.
It's a little disheartening, obviously, right? Because, like, everyone has their own beauty, but you would hope that someone actually takes the time to get to know you and who you are, like, as a person, versus just, like, what you look like or what you're all about. And obviously there's some importance to that too, right? I mean, whether it's just the dating or in the professional workforce as well. But yeah, if you see it over and over, it's like you kind of forget what your own beauty has, and then you have to feel
so
like,
what
maybe I should do that.
So how could a guy, if he was coming up to you, how could he, like, let's say he was kind of a stranger and then you start talking for a little bit, how could that guy actually make you feel like, oh yeah, you know what, I am attractive, I am sexy? Like, how would they go about doing that? You mentioned it a little bit, I think, with what you just said.
Well, I guess it probably would bring something back in the conversation, or, like, make a comment based on what I said earlier in the conversation about, versus like, oh, I like your outfit, or oh, that cute, like, that skirt's really cute on you, or something like that. It's like, all right, I know it's cute, I bought it, first of all.
You don't like it when guys say that?
No, I mean, it's fine, but, like, if that's all they're saying, I'm like, well, you know, what is this all about? I rather
what I'm telling guys to give a girl a compliment, like, you got to make it something unique and it takes a little bit of time to find that out when you talk to somebody.
Right. What I'm saying is that's great, and you should definitely do it, right? It helps the conversation, but I think it needs to be balanced in what you guys are talking about.
Okay.
Right? It's like, oh, this cute necklace, why don't you take it off? Oh, cute shirt, take that off. Pants, take it off. You know, we want to address some of what's in here too. You know, like, figuring out who we are actually talking to. So we can trust a little bit more.
So you think is there any way, any line, any sort of thing that a guy can say about your appearance that could make you feel good?
Oh, about appearance?
Yeah, about your appearance.
Oh, probably like the smile or something like.
You like compliments about the smile?
Yeah, I think so. Like, it's charming or something. I don't know.
You have a sweet smile?
Sweet smile. Like, let me see a little bit more. Yeah, and then make a joke. You're like, oh, would that work or not? Or something like that.
Gotcha. You know what? Sometimes I compliment girls on their eyebrows, because a lot of times they put work into them.
Because of your eyebrows?
Oh yeah, I have thick ass eyebrows that are scary.
Like, how do you do that?
And well, like, I mean, you compliment people on what people usually compliment you on, or something like that. Unconsciously too. I know a lot of girls, like, they'll compliment me on my eyebrows, but I know deep down inside they want me to compliment them on their
Their
eyebrows because
eyebrows,
they've done work on them.
Yeah, eyebrows are a big thing these days too.
Yeah, I know. They're like it's a big deal.
You have tools, everything.
So, I think we've covered a lot of stuff that I wanted to talk about. There's definitely more stuff that we'll cover, but it's getting kind of dark, so we'll probably suspend this for a later time. Andrea, thank you so much. And this has been like the first episode of when it comes to understanding women. Guys, if you have any questions about this, put them in the comment section below. I'll read all of them. If you have any questions about my one-on-one coaching program, please email me at TheSingleGuy2017 @gmail.com. Thanks a lot and good luck out there, you guys.